Oh boy. Oh. One moment, please. Mother fudger. Okay. 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 3, 2, 1. Go Nintendo Podcast, episode 997, the Arctibax Podcast. Arctibax freezes the air around it, protecting its face with an ice mask and turning its dorsal fin into a blade of ice. It is 2 feet tall. It is 66 pounds, male and female. Category is Ice Fin, and the abilities include Thermal Exchange. This boosts the attack stat when the Pokemon is hit by a fire-type move. The Pokemon also cannot be burned. That is the end of the Pokemon section. Let me take a drink of water. And you're stuck with just me today, guys. It's just me. Mom Brain was away on assignment for teacher stuff. Nikki Hill is away on assignment for hentai stuff, obviously. Dew, unfortunately, could not be here. It is just me. So you're putting up with me for a whole show. Why is it a Friday show? Well, I mean, if you're listening over the weekend, you probably don't know. But if you're here live, it's a Friday show. It's a Friday show because Mom Brain and I have an engagement party to go to tomorrow. Not our own. We've been engaged for a very long time and will forever be that way because we don't want to get married. But family members, engagement party, it's going to be a nice, fun time. And obviously, I can't be like, hey, can't go to the engagement party. I got to do a podcast. So here I am on a Friday getting it done. I'm doing it later than I would have liked to because it was very busy today. Blah, 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 blah. You don't need to hear all that crap. I'm here. How am I? Stressed out. How about you? I'm also stressed out. Let me say hello to the others that are here. Hello, Josh Grobot, my friend. How are you?
I am the world's best singer.
So I've heard.
Yeah.
Yes. What's been going on with you, Josh? What have you been up to? Anything fun or exciting to talk about?
Boring.
Oh, a boring week for you? Nothing to tickle your fancy? Nothing to keep you interested? No Tetris gameplay?
Did you know you can play Tetris for free on Tetris.com?
I did know that. Josh, I got something game related I want to talk to you about. At least mobile game related that I think you might be interested in. It's not Tetris related, so I don't know. Oh, okay, never mind then. Let me say hello to George, my old friend George. How are you doing, my friend? I'm doing pretty good. Thanks for asking. George, this week, Mom Brain got me some key lime cookies from Trader Joe's. They were phenomenal. I think I've had them once before a while ago, but it was through somebody else. It wasn't like my own box. I had to be polite and was like, "Oh, these are delicious. I don't want to eat the whole box," but now we had them and I've already blown through the whole box. They were so good. Have you had them, George? Oh yeah, they're one of my favorites. I keep them stocked up all the time. I got a whole cabinet full of them. I don't blame you, George. They're that good. And for the health conscious people out there, they're not that bad calorically. They're like the size of like a milk bottle cap. That's how big they are. Maybe a little smaller than that. You can eat like 5 of them for 120 calories. Like most Trader Joe's food, it's really good. And not surprisingly, George, you already knew about them. Oh yeah, I snack on them all day long. I don't blame you. I don't know. Now I understand why you have a whole cabinet of them because they're like I said, I plowed through that box. I wish I had another one, but I don't. So it's probably a good thing that I don't. But let me say hello to the Discord. Hello, Maddie B. And this is going to be terrible to say. I like when Mom Brain's not here for one reason, and one reason only. I get to use her laptop to see the Discord. Hello, Maddie B. Hello, Roth. Hello, Granimus. Hello, Old Benny Wan. Hello, Drake. Nico Drunia, Gecko Kitsune, Microtic, William. I annoyed T27 Duck. He was in here. Roth, if I didn't say that. I apologize. Hello, Vachi, for and Red Souza. I apologize for making this a random Friday podcast. I know you guys, I believe I mentioned last week that we had to do the show early, but I didn't know when exactly it was going to happen. So I apologize for not having a better idea. I didn't know today when I was going to be able to do it, but here I am right now. It's Pasta Day, Roth. National Pasta Day. Wow, that's what was I just? Oh, I was talking about Olive Garden with friends. I believe last night when we were playing Fortnite. Because I said that Mom Brain kept it a secret from me for a very long time. That she literally like over 20 years she kept it a secret from me that she liked Olive, or doesn't just like Olive Garden. She like loves Olive Garden. And I was like, why did you not tell me this? And she was a little embarrassed about it. I said, what the hell? Don't be embarrassed about it. If you like Olive Garden, you like Olive Garden. She's like, well, it's not like the best or most authentic Italian food. And I was like, it doesn't matter. If you like it, enjoy it. I was like, we could have been going to Olive Garden all these years. So now she's in the thick of it and has fully embraced her Olive Garden love. And it is National Pasta Day, and she's not here. And we can't go to Olive Garden. We'll have to make up for it. But when I'm at Olive Garden, breadsticks all day long. I could go there and just eat the breadsticks. I still like Pizza Hut's breadsticks better, but Olive Garden's breadsticks are very good. This is crazy. I feel like Olive Garden's breadsticks are more greasy, buttery, oily than Pizza Hut's, but maybe it just depends on the pizza. But both are really good. I could go there and eat just the breadsticks at either of those places and be very happy about that. Granimus says, you like Pizza Hut even though that ain't the best pizza. Yeah, exactly. When somebody asks, like, it's funny, when Music Man was here, speak your name, Music Man, he used to live in Jersey. Now he does not, and he misses Jersey pizza. So the joke is always with anybody who used to live in Jersey or is visiting Jersey and wants pizza, the joke is like, we got pizza, we got Domino's, because you just wouldn't mention those because, yes, they are pizza, but they're fast food pizza. And it's not even what you would call it's not anywhere near authentic pizza. I don't know what you would call that pizza, but it ain't like regular pizza. If you're in Jersey, you want to get pizza, there's so many great options around. But that doesn't mean I don't like Pizza Hut and I don't crave Pizza Hut. Whatever that kind of pizza is, I do enjoy it. I would never measure it up against a traditional pizza. It's its own thing, just like Olive Garden's version of Italian food is its own thing. It serves a purpose and you can like it. You can love it. It doesn't matter. You can think it's better than authentic stuff too. That doesn't matter. You just gotta I, make sure you differentiate between them. You got to acknowledge that there's a considerable difference between them. You can still like one more than the other, but still, blah, 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 blah. All right. We got some things to talk about today before we get into the regular news. If you're watching the podcast, you already know about one of them. I was going to get myself a can of Coke before I started the show, but I was like, it's just me and I can't really go to the bathroom. So I'm just going water. But anyway, we got some things to talk about. Like I said, if you're watching the show, you already know one of them. The lovely people at Razer reached out because I covered their line of Gengar products. Gengar is a Pokemon and a topical Pokemon because he's spooky. Is he a ghost type? Are they a ghost type? I don't know, but I know they're spooky, and it's spooky season. So Razer had released some Gengar themed computer accessories a while ago. They originally were exclusive to China, and it took a very long time for them to release outside of China, but now it's finally happening. And we caught wind of it and we spread the word on it. And hopefully, you guys caught that and are interested in picking up some of that stuff. But Razer reached out and we're like, thank you so much for covering our line of Gengar products. We're going to send you some Gengar products. And obligated to tell you about them or review them or anything like that, but I thought I would be nice and showcase them. So if you're watching the podcast, you can see right now the flagship product, I would say, in this whole line is the Gengar headset. I got the box behind me. Hold on. Kraken Kitty V2. Okay, it's the Razer Kraken Kitty V2 headset. It's a USB headset. So you got to have USB to use them. It doesn't have an auxiliary cord. But still. So I guess you could use them on Switch or Switch 2 by plugging in through the dock and other platforms as well, and PC. They're made for streaming. If you're watching this and you're thinking I'm talking to you through the headset, I'm not. I'm just wearing it. As I will show you now, it's not plugged into anything. Just thought I'd wear it, although I might take it off just because I don't need to hear anybody here, but it's a little disconcerting. Man, streamers do this all the time. Human fart. Hello. I see a Lime related thing in Discord. What's that? What's that? Josh or George. Sorry, I'm gonna take a look in a second. I don't know how streamers do this all the time. Wear cans, a headset like all day long, and talk to people like that. I don't like the sound of my voice muffled through heads. I mean, if it was plugged in, I guess I'd be hearing my own voice if I was a professional, but I'm far from that. But still, I don't know if I'd like that. But anyway, headset's cool. It lights up and all kinds of jazz, but I'm not plugged in, so you don't get that. All right, I am taking them. That's not. Oh my God, listen to my voice. So much better. That's not the only thing that they sent over. They also sent the Gengar Gigantus version 2 soft gaming mouse mats. So it's one of those full desk mouse pads. I've never ever had one of these because I'm not really a PC gamer. So I don't need like a lot of space to lay out for my mouse or anything like that. I got like this little mouse pad I got here, standard mouse pad size. That's what I use, but now I could use this. It's one of those real long mouse pads. It's got Gengar designs all over it. Should I open this? This is one of those things where I'm like, I should have done this before the show started, but I didn't. And then you know what? I'm going to give myself a second to struggle with I'm struggling pretty bad. Struggle with this sticker. And if I can't get it in a reasonable amount of time, then I'm going to give up and move on. He says as he vamps to get the box open and oh, it's open. And I pull this. Okay. It's open. If you're watching, you're going to get to see this thing now. Or you could be a normal person and go on their website and just look at, man, this sucker's big. Holy crap. I don't want to knock it. This is awesome. There you go. That is the full mat. Man, that is nice. This is some high quality stuff. I'm not saying that because I've been told to say it. I'm being genuine. Look at that mouse pad. Now, I showed it to you. Now I want to see it. Wow, look at that. That is awesome. I'm not even like a massive Pokemon fan, although that might be changing. More on that later. That is a really cool mouse pad. This is one of those things where you get it in the package and you're like, how'd they fit that giant thing in that tiny package? And then you try and put it back in there and it's like, well, nope, never going back in there. I'm not going to spend time doing that on the podcast. Wow, look at that. You can see Gengar right there. Sorry, I don't want to trip over the box. So there's that. And then one final thing, which I'm not going to take out of the box because you can get a good look at it. The Gengar Razer Cobra customizable gaming mouse. I'm holding it up to the camera. It's got Gengar on it and other spooky Pokemon silhouette designs. This is USB Type A port. What does it got? Lightweight design, Razer optical mouse switches Gen 3 and 8500 DPI optical sensor. Is that good enough for the professional gamers out there? I don't know what number they want. I don't know what they deem appropriate and what they feel is not worth their time. But if you're a Pokemon fan or a gamer or a Pokemon gamer or a PC player who likes Pokemon, then maybe that mouse is for you. So thank you to Razer for sending over that stuff. Very nice of you. I very much appreciate it. Now let me go over. Hello, RLM. Good to see you. Hello, Ice Dilbert. Good to see you. I want to go back over to the Discord here because I saw what I believe is a Sora generated George, and for some reason he's a white guy. But I'm gonna watch this right now. There's, I, I, is he speaking? I can't. Oh, you know what? What am I doing? I can watch this on my phone. Let's see.
I'm George, and you're listening to the GoNintendo Podcast.
What the hell? Oh man! You know, did I talk about this last week? I think it might have been an after show thing. How I'm. Thank you for generating that with a prompt, human fart. I'm having an existential crisis with the use of Sora and Chat GPT and OpenAI and all that stuff for these videos that are coming out lately, because I obviously, when it comes to art and artists, I want the artists to be used. I want the artists to be propped up. I don't like that their art was stolen or quote unquote stolen, whatever you want to call it. I feel stolen. But just thrown into like a machine that gobbled it all up and is now spitting out its own things and pretending that it's not built off the backs of millions of artists out there who are working hard and trying to make money. So very much against it, but I'm not going to lie to you guys. When I see some of the AI generated stuff from Sora, I do laugh at it. And it's not because I'm searching it out. It pops up on my social media, TikTok or whatever. And that example right there is funny. And it's just crazy how quickly that stuff can come around. Although I don't like that we've whitewashed George. George, maybe you know this guy. Is there a white version of you out there, George? I don't want to talk about that guy. Bad blood. He dropped the limes. You did not. So I understand why you're a little miffed with this guy. But maybe some lore you can get into. Human Fart says, I tried my best to get his race right. Yes, it's not your fault, Human Fart. It is Sora's fault. And also, thank you for doing that. I'm not going to tell anybody to use or not use Sora or any of that AI stuff. Do with it what you please. I don't think you're a horrible person if you use it. And, I do see wiggle room if you're using it just for shovels and giggles, just with your group of friends, you throw something out there randomly. Like I'm not, it could be podcast discussions from here until the end of time about ethical use of that stuff and why it's bad and why it's good and why it's okay and why it's multi-layered. There's no way you can have a discussion where it's like, this is the definitive answer and this is the way it should be. All you can do is say, here's how I feel about it and this is what I'm going to do with it. So personally, I have seen things that make me laugh. I am not using it. I don't like how it treats artists, and that's that. There's a more nuanced discussion to be had, but I would never knock anybody for going to it to do whatever. See, I don't want to go down this whole big rabbit hole because I'm like, I would knock somebody for like generating artwork on there and then selling it, but that's not what's going on here, and we're not getting into this whole thing, whatever it is. Now I can go back here, but like I said, thank you, Human Fart. I appreciate it. Maddie B says it's like dropping the beat, but in a wider GCU, George Cinematic Universe. Yes, the GCU. We have Uncle Giuseppe, we have George, and we have White George and Colonel. Colonel, your pictures are going to become nothing but you drawing different versions of George from here on out. And you know what? I look forward to it. I see T27 Duck is doing his work. We were talking about I could ping people in the Discord to let them know that a podcast is going to happen. And it appears it has been done. He's typing something right now. Looks like I code 5 months ago, he says. So then it's there. T27 Duck, thank you very much. I will message you later when I have a bit of time and just get the run through on the stuff, but I appreciate it. And yeah, if you're a member of the Discord, I guess from now on, I'll be able to let you know when we're going to go live through that way. So join the Discord. It's a nice place. I've been added to the podcast people roll, so it's official. There's that. Did that. Okay. And then something else. I'm hiding a little something back here. Our friends at Nintendo, you may have heard of them, sent us a little something. You know what? Let me get the exact name of this so you can go pick this up. How do I have this many emails and I just stopped working? What is going on? Ay, what a day. Let me. I want to get you the exact name of this so you can pick one up if you're so interested. This is the. Oh, wait a minute. Glad I read this. I can't show it to you. Holy crap. I almost got myself in trouble there with Nintendo of all companies. I can't talk about this. Man, that's crazy. Let me. Any coverage of blank about. Okay, I can't talk about it. Man, I stopped myself just in time. I'm so glad that I checked this email. I would have never thought. This is something you guys already know about, like, and it's available for pre-order. I'm not allowed to talk to you about it. So the discussion ends there. Woo! I almost got myself in big trouble there. So sorry to like lead you on there and be like, hey, here's this cool thing. My hand was literally over here taking it out from out of view. I can't believe it's out of view, man. I stupidly got very lucky there. Sorry, next week I can talk about it, but again, it's already something you know about, so just will be nice to talk about it. Oh my god. Serendipitous moment. Sometimes the universe is not out to get me. Sometimes the universe is there to save me. Sorry again. Let me get back and I threw myself for a loop there. That can't do that and that. Okay, then that's it. Then we're going over to Patreon. I can't believe that worked out like that. T27 Duck is sending me some. Hi, Tony De La Mancha. Good to see you. Done. Users can add, remove themselves. Okay, so it's in there, and then I can ping it. And next week I'll give you a better description of all this stuff and a breakdown for all this. So the bot in the Discord is called Rosalina, and it's mentioning stuff that's going on. And Tony De La Mancha says, "Is Rosalina a bot or a clanker?" Perspective. I guess it's all a matter of perspective. Yeah, Red Suze, I almost revealed the Switch 3. That's what I was hiding behind that pillow right there. Yeah. I know Mom Brain's gonna come in here and be like, what's behind the pillow? And it's not the Switch 3. Again, it is something you know about. You've known about it for a long time. It's just not available yet. But this coming episode, I'll be able to talk to you about it. Moving on. Hey, yo, where is this thing? I don't know where these gosh darn sound effects are. It's over here. You know what I'm trying to get to. It's the Sora. It's for the Patreon. I go, Mom Brain, did you know that you could join the Patreon for $1? Mom Brain's not here. Can I search on this thing? This is what happens when I do a show by myself. Everything's a mess. Yes, you can join the Patreon for $1, and I talk about stuff on Patreon this week. What I talk about? Let me tell you. I legit can't find. I thought I could vamp through that, and I could find the. No, it's not that, Maddie B. I promise. I won't mention that, but it is not that. I thought I could vamp through this and find the for $1. I thought it would be in the sound effects here. See, I get so sidetracked, and I'm like, I want to find this. I don't want to move on. This looks like it's in alphabetical order: A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. It's gone. It's here's a.
It's free.
Patreon's not free, but whatever. Don't say that. There's nothing peeking out there. You can't see it. I'm not doing anything. You can't see it. I'm not moving. Here's what I talked about on the Patreon this week. I talked about Wonder Man. Wonder Man is a Marvel character. Wonder Man is the next MCU series that's coming out on Disney Plus. I want to say January. I want to say January 22nd, but that might be wrong. I know it's January. Wonder Man, they finally put out a trailer for it. I don't know anything about Wonder Man, the character in the Marvel Cinematic Universe or Marvel in general. I have heard of Wonder Man, but I don't know anything about who he is, his abilities, nothing like that. And I purposefully kept myself out of the loop because I was like, let me go into the show, not knowing anything. I watched the trailer, and the trailer is something Marvel's obviously trying to do something very different here. I don't know what it means for the character or how it relates to the character as far as comic books go, but in the trailer, it is I guess what they're showing Wonder Man as if there was a movie for the character Wonder Man years ago, but it's fallen out of favor. And the trailer is very self-referential because they talk about how comic book movies aren't as popular and people are tired of them. But this director he believes there's room for Wonder Man to come back and really be something special. So he's bringing it's some famed director that's going to make a new Wonder Man movie, and he's trying to cast Wonder Man and other characters in the movie. And then there's the guy who is either Wonder Man or in the movie, or will be Wonder Man, or becomes real life Wonder Man. I don't know, but the whole trailer is about them preparing to shoot the movie and casting for the movie. So it's very what's the word, like fourth wall breaking. And there's another word that I'm not thinking of because I'm having a brain fart. But it's very interesting and intriguing to me because I literally have no idea what's going on, both with Wonder Man the character and with this show too. It's doing something different, and it's trying to play into the whole idea that people are tired of superhero movies and TV shows. So I don't know if that's going to interest some people enough to get them to check the show out, or woo back some lapsed fans. I honestly don't know. We'll see what happens together. But it's very meta. Yes, Darmani. Hi, Darmani. Meta was the word I was looking for. Yeah. But we'll all find out together with the show. And obviously, I'm an MCU fan, so I'll be there, and I'm intrigued. Color me intrigued. I also wrote about video recording because you might know. It shows how dumb I am. I was like, I don't do videos for GoNintendo anymore because I don't have the time. And somebody on Patreon was like, you do a podcast every week on video. And I was like, I'm so dumb. That's true. Every week I do a video for the site. I don't know why I don't consider that video, or it never popped into my head, because it's certainly video. It's just kind of like a thing that a thing that I do, and I put it out there, and I don't really like try and spread the word on it. It's just, if you want video, there's video for it. I guess that's why I don't consider it video, but it is. But I'd like to do more video for the site. Last week we touched on this a little bit about how it will be fun to do a series of videos where we play something like the Bubsy games or the Gex games, with like Nikki Hill here and Do here, and we just joke about them while we're playing, and comment on the references, because they're all going to be very dated references in those games. And I thought that would be a fun series to do. So that idea has been sticking with me, and I'm like, I really want to get back into doing video. I used to do a good amount of video for the site. It just became so much and took up so much time, especially editing. Editing takes so much time, but I really do miss doing videos. If I could just like record a video and fart it out there, that'd be great, but you can't. I mean, I could, nothing's stopping me, but I don't want to do that for GoNintendo's sake. I don't want to just put out something where I'm like, people take from it what they will, and that's that. I'd like to put some effort into it, at least on the editing side of things, but not to a degree that it takes a ton of time. So, but I've gotten the bug. Um, and I'm already looking into getting a new equipment to record, because I have to upgrade that stuff. And I'd like to use these microphones, and I'd like to set up like a permanent station in here just with a TV, even if it's a modest one, where I can just like bring my laptop over, plug it in, and it's ready to record, rather than like get all the stuff together, get all the microphones together, get everything set up every single time. I just want a little station where it's like plug, good to go, record, and we're ready. So that's the goal that I'm working on right now, and we will see. Not if it happens, we will see when it happens. I do want to make it happen. And yes, obviously, as soon as I started talking about video stuff, people were like, Parents Play, bring back Parents Play. As I've said many times, my parents are older now. They are certainly capable of doing it, but it's a bit more of a hassle. But if I can get a station set up where they can just come in and sit down regularly, and there's not a whole setup thing, and it doesn't take, literally setting up Parents Play before, when I used to do it, would take 45 minutes. That's not a lie. 45 minutes to set up everything every single week, and then editing would take, days. Um, So it's a lot of work, but if I could cut out the setup every week, then that does open a window for a potential Parents Play return. And not, I don't mean weekly or even monthly, just whenever something tickles my fancy and I feel like it'd be something worth doing, then I would get to it. So Windows very slightly cracked for a Parents Play return. But yeah, talked about video, and I'm gonna make an effort there. I also talked about playing Fortnite ranked reload mode because I don't care about ranks in any games really, but I had a reason to jump into Fortnite's ranked reload mode because they were giving away an emote if you completed something. And I'm a sucker for an emote, and I'm an extra sucker for a traversal emote, and that's what this is. You get like I don't even like holidays, and I don't like Halloween, but it's like a spooky jack-o'-lantern on a chain with like bats that fly by. You can get it by doing 50 or getting 50 kills in ranked reload, build or no build, doesn't matter. So I undertook that and I wrote about it, and I'll tell you guys more about it during the what we played section. I also thank you, Maddie B. That's very nice of you to say. They're saying I was just thinking of Parents Play. They are truly golden moments. I have not. I've only rewatched a few of them, and that was shortly after I put them out just to make sure they were what I thought they were. But I haven't watched the Parents Play in a very long time, so I don't know if they stand up or if I'll be in back. Usually, I read anything I've done in the past, and I'm like, well, this is the worst thing anyone's ever done. So I don't know if I feel that way about Parents Play now, but I'm sure there's a couple episodes that are decent, and I know there's plenty of jokes I put in there, attempts at jokes that I put in there that may still be funny. So it'll be like watching something brand new. Or who knows? Think about going back to the very first episodes, and I know they're going to be horrible, but maybe I should do that. Maybe I should force myself to do that. I'm taking a drink of water. Yes, Parents Play was a magical thing when it was around. I also wrote about Maple Forest, which I said on Patreon, I pride myself on making sure GoNintendo has the latest Nintendo news and is filled to the brim with Nintendo stuff. I do not post everything I find, but I post everything that I believe is worth someone's time. The amount of stuff I post versus don't post. I know I post a lot on GoNintendo, and that goes for the whole staff. But that's probably like a third of what I see out there, and the rest of it is just stuff that is not timely or is superfluous or just I feel like would take up space and doesn't really matter. So there's more stuff out there, but hopefully you feel satiated when it comes to news and information and rumors and fun stuff about Nintendo. But somehow this game called Maple Forest passed me by. I still haven't posted about it on GoNintendo because it's not timely right now, but there will be reason to post about it when a new trailer or something pops up. Maple Forest is a game that was on Kickstarter. The Kickstarter launched in August 2024, and it very quickly got funded, and it knocked out all of its stretch goals as well. So people were like all about this one. It's a top-down Zelda-esque 2D adventure. It's also pulling from things like Secret of Mana and other Squaresoft RPGs from back in the day, action RPGs from back in the day. There's even a little bit of Chrono Trigger in there, which is not an action RPG. But it uses a Game Boy Color scheme, and it's pixel graphics, but it's like beautifully, expertly drawn pixel graphics. They're like very highly detailed and very gorgeously animated, and just stuff that wouldn't be possible on the original Game Boy. So if you like those kind of games, if you like that kind of art style, if you like Zelda, I think you do, or long for those days of long lost RPGs from the Super Nintendo era, look to Maple Forest. Here's the greatest news. It's coming to Switch and Switch 2, and it is getting a physical release, although I believe physical releases are locked out for now. You missed your chance to secure a physical release, although I'm sure some other boutique retailer will jump on that chance to pump out more physical copies when this game does become available. So the game is not out yet on any platforms, but it is coming to Switch and Switch 2. Check out a trailer on YouTube. Maple Forest. I guarantee if you like any of the things that I mentioned, You will be goo-goo for this one. Oh, thank you, Roth, for posting in the Discord. You can see the Kickstarter right there. Man, it looks really, really good, and it's got a killer. At least in the trailer, had a killer soundtrack. Really, really good music that made me teary-eyed. It was very evocative of that era and that style and genre. Just very like heroic and adventurous, and man, just hit everything that I like about those kind of games. At least as shown in the trailer. Whether it plays that good remains to be seen, but that's for another day. I also talked about Ball Pit or Ball X Pit. I don't know what the fart I'm supposed to say because people tell me if there's an X in a name, you don't say the X, but people also say you do say the X. So I don't know until the developer tells me. I don't know. I'm sure there's a trailer out there from Devolver Digital that says the game's name, and I'm gonna say they say Ball Pit. So until I'm shown that I am wrong, I'll go with Ball Pit. It's a breakout alleyway Arkanoid style game. At least 2/3 of it is that, if not more than that, and then 1/3 is like resource management, town builder game. But that still employs breakout style mechanics, and I don't like any builder style mechanics in games. It's just not my thing. Every time that's in a game, I just really don't like that. Hello, it's Stitched. Good to see you. They say It's Stitched says it's a very addictive game, and I agree. But and that's a great point. Actually, you're saying it's so addictive, and I agree. It is so addictive that I don't even mind the builder mechanics because the other part of the game is just so enthralling to me. And I will get more into detail on that too later in the podcast. So that's what I wrote about on Patreon. You know what? I could do this and be nice. Did I send it to the trash? I did, but I'm going to go to my garbage to be nice. What the fart? Just wish things were easy. Did I not send it to garbage? I'm trying to be nice to one person, and you know what? It's worth it. It's worth it to be nice. I hate these goddarn solo shows. Here we go. I wanted to say thank you to Stunky Cheese for joining the Patreon today. They joined the Patreon for $1. So thank you, Stunky Cheese, for becoming a new member. I hope you're not disappointed because I haven't done today's post yet because I'm doing the podcast. I normally, when I finish my first round of regular site news, I go over to Patreon, reply to people's comments from the last 24 hours, and then make my new post. But I haven't done that yet today because here I am doing the podcast. But hopefully if you're over there and you're reading some of the other posts, you like what you see. There's a new post coming today. What's it going to be about today? I honestly don't know. I haven't thought about it. Usually, sometimes stuff comes up. For $1. Found it. Sometimes stuff comes up in advance, and I'm like, oh, yeah, I want to write about that. Oh, yeah, I want to talk about this. And other times I'll just open up and reply to people's comments, and I'll be like, okay, what am I going to write about today? Today, I don't have anything in mind. I have things like floating around in the back of my head that are always there that I could write about, but nothing that's like screaming at me. There were things I wanted to write about this week that were more related to TV shows and movies and anime and stuff like that, but I don't want to inundate people with that stuff, so I leaned into a lot more game stuff this week. So maybe I'll do something like that. Definitely some anime stuff I want to talk about. But that's for Patreon later today. The work never ends. Always news to do. And speaking of news, let's get to some news.
Finally!
We have news for you, the royal we. Let me bring it to you. What the fart? Well, we had news of leaks on Pokemon Legends ZA, but the game is out now, so you don't have to worry about that. So I'm not going into detail on that. Here's something I will talk about in detail, at least some detail, after I take a drink. Time, the magazine, or the website, put out their Best Inventions of 2025 article. This has multiple categories, and there's over 300 different products, services, other things on there in all these different categories. And you can go, we linked to the whole piece if you'd like to see it. But in particular, when you go to the entertainment and gaming section, there were, I want to say, 5 different things mentioned in there. And one of them was the Switch 2. Time considers the Switch 2 to be one of the best inventions of 2025 in terms of entertainment and gaming. It was named alongside things like the ROG Xbox Ally X or ROG, the Samsung Premier 5 projector, and other items. Can someone crunch these numbers for me very quickly in the Discord? What's the cheapest ROG Xbox Ally X you can get? Because there's 2 versions, right? One of them is like what, $900, $1,000, but there's another one that's, I want to say, $500, $600, something like that. But I know it's out there right now, right? Some people have it now. I've seen press talking about it and how there's things that they like and they don't like. But I've seen a considerable amount of articles that are like, this ROG makes me appreciate the Switch 2 even more, because there are games available on the Xbox Ally X that are also available on the Switch 2, and people are comparing the two and they're like, yeah, there's a difference, but there's not like a crazy difference. And it really goes to show like how much the Switch 2 is punching above its weight in terms of what visuals it can spit out, thanks to the different features and aspects that it has. So Tony De La Mancha says 600 is the cheap one, quote unquote cheap one. So yeah, you could spend $600. And obviously there's games available for the games aren't made exclusively for that. They're compatible with that. But there's games that you can play on there that are also released on the Switch too, and those comparisons are showing people, or at least the people that are playing them, are like, not that big of a difference between these two. And obviously, some of those games on Switch 2 have features on Switch 2 that you aren't going to get in the ROG Xbox Ally X version. Like, you look at Cyberpunk 2077. There's going to be stuff on the Switch 2 version that isn't available on the PC version or any other version for that matter. Some other bells and whistles in there. But Time feels that both of those devices are worthy of being among the best tech of 2025. Go read the whole feature if you want. I always find that kind of stuff interesting. And the year's not over yet, so maybe Time will be adding to this. Conan Giga says, must have been a slow year. I don't know if Conan Giga is being a troll or being serious, but something leads me to believe that's a bit of a trollish comment. But yeah, go read the list and see what else is on there and see if you agree or disagree. Moving on. What is this? Moving on. Poop. If you are a Switch Online member and you're over in Europe, you have a new free game trial to enjoy. Nintendo calls it a free game trial. Lube makes us say that it is a game at no additional cost. So you pay for Switch Online and you get access to this game at no additional cost. You can play, again, in Europe, Shin Megami Tensei 5 Vengeance. That is the free game trial. It started on October 16th. It will be sticking around until October 22nd. That is the full game beginning to end. So during that week, this week, I believe that game takes like 80 hours. If you got 80 hours of free time, you might be able to see that game through to its end. But chances are you won't be able to see all of the game in that amount of time. So when the free trial ends, you can go on the Switch eShop and download at full cost the full version of the game, and your your save file will continue over to there. So it's not like you have your save data and you got to start all over because the trial is over. You can take your save data into the full game. And almost always there is a discount on that version of the game for at least a week after the free trial ends. So you should be able to get it for cheaper as well. Yes, Piper. Hello. Oh, you're right here behind me. Hello, sweetheart. Piper? There she is. Goodbye. The cat came to see me. Piper came to say hello. So yeah, don't try and rush through the game just to try and finish it all before the free trial ends. Put in a decent amount of time with it, see if you like it, and if it was worth your time, then maybe hop onto the Switch eShop and get the full game at a discounted price. No free game trial in North America right now. Usually we get the same thing, or at least we get another option, but Nintendo has not offered us anything here. So that usually means something comes next week. And if that does happen, we will tell you what the game is. Aussie McBucket says, fun. Still none for North America since the console launch. Oh, I didn't realize that. Is that true? Since Switch 2 launched, I guess we haven't had a free game trial. That's interesting to know. I wonder what Nintendo's reasoning is for that. There's got to be some data within Nintendo that points to them or that indicates to them that they shouldn't do free game trials here, but they should do them in Europe. I don't know. That's interesting. Moving on. We had a rumor pop up this week about Nintendo being hacked. And since then, Nintendo has commented on this matter. A group known as Crimson Collective said, "Mwahaha, we have attacked Nintendo and we have hacked their servers and we've gained access to their internal files." People got worried, obviously, because a company gets hacked. If you're a Nintendo fan or follower, some of your data is with Nintendo. If you're a Switch Online member, Nintendo has some of your, your credit card information, your address, other things like that. So people get worried and wonder how big is the hack, how much damage has been done, how many users have been, how many users have had their data accessed, blah 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 blah. Crimson Collective was not giving too many specifics on what they did, but they did send out a vague screenshot showing that they hacked Nintendo and they had access to things that Nintendo didn't want them to. Nintendo commented, and also Pokemon Company got hacked as well. And that we know was a legitimate hack because all kinds of inside information came out from Pokemon Company, as we always do when it comes to these kind of breaches. We don't share the data that is hacked and leaked online. We let you know that it happened, but we steer clear of sharing any of that. So like literally projects were leaked, including details on projects that just released, details on projects that are coming years down the line. Like this was a very extensive, very sensitive leak of information that things are still coming out from. And Pokemon Company has tried to do damage control online to get some screenshots and videos and artwork taken down. But, it's the internet where everything is forever. So they haven't had the best of luck there. What's going on here, laptop? So Nintendo and Pokemon Company hacked. The Pokemon Company one was very serious. Nintendo's provided a statement on their hack, and it seems like it wasn't very serious at all. The Nintendo hack, their statement on the matter is as follows, quote, "No leakage of personal information has been confirmed and no breach of development or business information either. Some external servers displaying Nintendo's website were compromised, but there is no evidence of harm to customers or intrusion into the company," end quote. So in other words, it seems like the hackers were playing hacker and pretending that they had access to more data than they did. So that's good for Nintendo and obviously good for consumers as well if you were worried about your data getting access, because it appears that was not the case. Now, whether was this Crimson Collective has more steps planned in the works and they plan to breach further or can, I don't know what's going to happen there. But obviously if Nintendo has caught on to what they're doing, they probably hunkered down and secured things even further and are keeping an ever watchful eye on the situation, making Crimson Collective and other hackers, I don't want to say jobs, but efforts that much more difficult. So I would imagine your data will be safe from here on out, but you never know. So this time around seems like it was more smoke than fire. Hawk says, not just trouble for Nintendo, but possibly trouble for any of us who have login or payment information from with Nintendo. I remember having to change my bank account and debit card after the stupid Sony hack years ago. It was a fiasco, to say the least. Well, Hawk, thankfully this time it appears you are safe. Yes, this was separate from the Pokemon hack, Tony De La Mancha. This was completely different hack, and to my knowledge, done by a completely different group of people. And we will keep you updated should any more information about that come out. Not doing that. A patent was discovered by Mike Odyssey, who went patent sniffing. Nintendo fans love to dig through various patents from the company to try and get a glimpse of what Nintendo might be doing in the future. And as I always say, just because it's patented by Nintendo doesn't mean it will see release. Nintendo has patented many ideas that never became public products, software, hardware, peripherals, or whatever you want to call them. We've seen it time and time again where those things just do not get released to the public, but there's instances where they do too. So keep that in mind as we go forward into this story, which is about which looks to be about the potential for Nintendo DS games to come to Switch and or Switch 2. If you were one of the 13 plus million Wii U owners, you may have played Nintendo DS games on the Wii U Virtual Console because the DS was one of the supported platforms. We have not seen DS games made accessible on any platform since. But people have been hoping Nintendo would bring DS games to the Switch and now the Switch 2. And this patent indicates that at the very least, it appears Nintendo is thinking about doing just that. It's a patent that shows basically DS games or DS style games being played on a Switch or Switch 2 like device. Shows that there are 3 different display options, which is parent and child screens. So that would obviously include 2 different screens. That has nothing to do with like actual parent and child. It's just saying one screen is the main screen and one screen is the supplementary screen. So one would be the top screen on the DS and one would be the bottom screen on the DS. There's single screen mode, which is basically picture in picture. So the bulk of your Switch screen would be one screen on the DS, and then you'd have a little picture-in-picture box that would show you the second screen on the DS, which many would believe to be the touch screen for most games. So you know if there's plenty of games on the DS where both screens weren't really used, like one was a main screen and one was a supplementary screen that had like stats on it or something like that, or maybe a map. So you didn't really need to interact with it or touch it or like use any buttons on it. It was just there to display information. So that would be better for a picture-in-picture display. And then there's the option for switch between screens mode. So perhaps if you have a game where both screens are used pretty frequently, this switch between screens mode would allow you to, at the press of a button, swap between what screen was being displayed. So again, the tests are there. We've seen Nintendo implement something similar to this on the Wii U, and now they are experimenting with what appears to be the Switch and the Switch 2. And hopefully at some point this becomes a reality, because I'm sure there are plenty of people who would like to play Nintendo DS games on their Switch or Switch 2 through the Nintendo Classics lineup. Drake says getting brain training free was nice. Just for Sudoku. I know Nikki Hill would be all about it if he could get more brain training Sudoku on his Switch. I would imagine it would take up quite a lot of his time. So yeah, we'll keep an eye on this one. As far as patents from Nintendo goes, this certainly seems like one that is more likely than unlikely. And they've done it in the past. If they did it for the Wii U, you would think they'd do it for the Switch. I mean, obviously a bigger audience there, but who knows? At the very least, it does appear Nintendo is contemplating the idea to the point where they sought patents for it, which means they're doing testing on it. Let me take a drink, if you'll excuse me, please. Alley Oop has the first comment, and they say, the recent Pokemon leaks have some information about how smartphone controls were once considered in Generation 8. Connecting your phone to the Switch to use as a touchscreen could be one way to do it. There you go. That's as much as you're going to get to hear me talk about the Pokemon leaks. Not because I'm uninterested, but because I don't feel it right to share that information. We have a report on Nintendo's mobile game. Wow, that was a mobile-related comment, and now we have a mobile-related story. Nintendo entered the mobile gaming space or mobile app space in 2016 with Miitomo, and they put out things since then. We're not including Pokemon Go because that's a partnership for them. But when it comes to just Nintendo, they've put out 9 different experiences on mobile devices. And according to a report from the game business that uses data from Sensor Tower, Nintendo has amassed $2.2 billion in revenue across those 9 different games. $2.2 billion. That's not yen, dollars. And they have a breakdown of the games and what they made and where they're popular. As far as downloads, you get the most downloads in the United States. The United States accounts for 20% of all installs. Japan came in second at 8%. But we're swapped when it comes to revenue. Japan is number 1 in terms of revenue, accounting for a whopping 46% of the money made. And US came in second there. That's crazy. US number 1 in downloads, Japan number 1 in revenue. Japan loves to spend money on their mobile games. 46% of that $2.2 billion came from Japan. Holy crap. What's the number 1 game? I'm sure this doesn't surprise anybody who pays attention to Nintendo's mobile efforts. Again, we're taking Pokemon Go out of this. The number 1 title is Fire Emblem Heroes. Downloaded 19 million times since launch, and it has made a staggering $1.1 billion for Nintendo. So 50% of Nintendo's mobile revenue comes from Fire Emblem Heroes, and then everything else makes up the remainder. Number 2 is Mario Kart Tour, which was downloaded 290 million times. So way more than Fire Emblem, but its revenue is 365 million. And this goes to show, as we've talked about many times before, why Nintendo, not why Nintendo, but Nintendo approached mobile games in a number of different ways to find out, or I'm sure to study what people want on mobile devices when it comes to payment situations. Nintendo has put out completely free things, but they also put out games like Fire Emblem Heroes, where it is a free-to-play game technically, but it has gotcha elements, which means you're paying. You could potentially pay all the time to get a whole bunch of stuff, and you just pay. Technically, you don't have to pay, but it's very incentivized to make you pay. Nintendo also put out something like Super Mario Run, where you can get the whole game for one price of, it was $10. I don't know what it is now, but it was $10. So Nintendo experimented with that kind of thing, and Nintendo's fans or mobile game players, or they're one and the same, or whatever you want to call it, the mobile audience was like, screw that, I ain't paying $10 for a game. Let's go down to Super Mario Run and see what the numbers are. Super Mario Run was downloaded 384 million times, and people spent in total, since it launched in 2016, $96 million on it. So way more people downloaded that game, but they were not converted into paid customers. And again, that was a one-time payment. Whereas Fire Emblem Heroes has a fraction of the downloads at 19 million, but made 1.1 billion and is still going strong. So, hi, White Lens, good to see you. So that just goes to show, at least in the mobile space, that's what people are more accustomed to, or want to do, or just expect. No payment up front. Let me pay as I go, as I see fit, which you end up spending a lot more, but the onus is put on the customer. They don't have to spend any money. They just they spend the money when they feel like they want to. So the customer doesn't like being told, or the average customer seemingly doesn't like being told, spend $10 to get access to the game. They like to be told, you don't have to spend any money. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge, and then you spend a whole bunch. I mean, look at me in Fortnite. Fortnite is free, and I feel like the amount of time I put into the game warrants me spending money on an emote here or a skin here, because I'm like, I spend so much time in this game. Yeah, I could spend $10 here or $5 here, and then over the years that really adds up. Obviously, that's why the game is so huge. So it works. It works. Hi, Super Sanchez. Good to see you. White Lens says that's not surprising. Both Fire Emblem Heroes being the top earner, and Japan being the biggest revenue bringer. Mobile game market is huge over there. Yes, for those who pay attention to that stuff, you are completely right. I agree on that. It is not really surprising at all. But it is a little surprising when you see just how big the difference is between downloads and revenue for games like Super Mario Run or Mario Kart Tour, which was downloaded 290 million times and made 365 million in terms of revenue. So, yeah, people want to have a free-to-play, technically, game that allows them to spend money if they see fit. So interesting stuff there. And I should say, again, that data comes from Sensor Tower. Nintendo doesn't specifically break down their mobile revenue. They'll give you an overall, but they don't usually give you like here's the game, here's how many downloads, here's how much it made. They don't usually do that. So this is the database on Sensor Tower as best as they can glean from the information that they have access to. And yeah, Fire Emblem Shadows just came out, which I've heard is not doing all that well. Joe Shabadoo says, not bad, especially for being more of an on-ramp into an ecosystem. Hasn't there been some sort of Zelda-related mobile game in development since the late 2010s? What's the status? Am I imagining that? Was it only rumored? I thought it was rumored. I thought they were doing an experiment, but it was rumored. I don't believe Nintendo ever confirmed that, but yeah, who knows what happened with that. You know how Nintendo is. They could like experiment forever, put it on a shelf, and then decades later they go back to it and it finally releases. So who knows? Maybe one day, maybe for the upcoming Legend of Zelda movie, they'll do some sort of tie-in. Who knows? I don't know. I can tell you what I do know. North America's sweet releases, or North America's releases. They're not so sweet from me. I can tell you what we got as soon as I find my music. North America. Here's what's available for Switch and Switch 2 owners. If you have the Switch 2, you can get Pokemon Legends ZA. There's a Switch 2 edition of that game. So if you're on Switch 2, get the Switch 2 edition. Over on the Switch, what's available? I feel my throat closing up. What's going on? Over on Switch, what's available? Let me tell you. Adrenaline Rampage. An English Haunting. Bigfoot Hunting. I bet you don't find them. Blaster Force 3000. Bumblebee Spooky Nights. Captain Bones, A Pirate's Journey. Cat God Ranch. Chicken Hair and the Treasure of Spiking Beard. Crownfall, Young Hero. Deathless, The Hero Quest. Desk Wars, the PC 9801 version of Revival Xanadu 2. Food Truck Kingdom, Ghost Travelers, Adventures in Edo, Hole Digging Simulator 2025, Illa, A Frosty Glide, Infinos, and Infinos 2, Jurassic Island, The Legend of Maku Maku, Just Dance 2026 edition. We will have a review of that in the near future. Logic IQ Boost, Lumo 2, Merge Match March, Murder Inc., Neoteria, Obby Kingdom, OFC, Ultimate Fighting Club, and yes, it is OFC. Puzzle Wars, Pokemon Legends ZA, the Switch version. Quit Today, Randomax, Redix, Scoop It Crane Game, CDAP, A Culinary Adventure, Snack and Quack, Steam Punch, Lost Tombs, Super Yellow Ball Man, The Cabin Factory, The Elf on the Shelf Christmas Heroes. Is that son of a bitch coming out already? It's already time for Elf on the Shelf. The Wild Age, Time Trekker, Treasure Drop, Turn It, Twins of the Sun, and finally Web Fishing Relax and Fish. There's your North American releases. No comment because I snuck the podcast in there early. So, spoiler alert, there's no comment for the European one either. I apologize. But, Josh, if you would, please.
What are the next European masterpieces? Let's find out with Nikki's sweet releases.
Nikki Hill, we speak your name. Nikki Hill, we speak your releases. In the year of our Lord 2025, here's what's available on the Switch 2 this week. Disgaea 7 Complete, Little Nightmares 3, Little Nightmares Enhanced Edition, and Pokemon Legends ZA. Those are your Switch 2 specific games. Here's what's available on Switch, but you can play them on Switch 2 as well. 21 Bundle Mega Pack Collection. Amanda the Adventurer 2. Ball Pit. Barbie Horse Trails. Bigfoot Hunting. Bike Dishes. Infinos and Infinos 2. Kawaii Girls. Spicy Scientist. I almost did like the, peace sign, victory sign, whatever thing. Korean Drone Flying Tour. Dual Cock Arboretum. Arboretum. I don't know what I'm saying. Kodanak. Little Nightmares 3. Logic IQ Boost. Mr. Elevator. Is that related to elevator action? Neoteria. Next of Kin Fidelity. And Next of Kin Duo Bundle. What's in the Duo Bundle? I don't know. It doesn't say. Penguin Panic. Pixel Game Maker Series. Tyrell's Ascension. Hellwalker, the video game. Pokemon Legends ZA, the Switch version. Prison Life Simulator 2025 Survival. No, thank you. Puzzle Wars. Random X. Retro Geek Shop Simulator. Did you know that geeks used to be... Let me start this again. Geeks were the guys in circuses that were part of the freak show that would bite heads off chickens. That's what a geek was. That's where geek comes from. There's a piece of horrible knowledge for you. Scoop It Crane Game. Snack and Quack. Snoopy and the Great Mystery Club. That is the, Snoopy dog. Charlie Brown, Peanuts fame. Spindle. Star Titans, War of the Galaxy. Super Yellow Ball Man. The Cabin Factory. The Wild Age. Time Trekker. Twins of the Sun. Wrap Shop Simulator. Now, is that car wrap or sandwich wrap? Because it's WRAP. Present wrapping. And finally, Ease versus Trails in the Sky, Alternative Saga. I will refresh just to see if somebody snuck in there. Nope, they did not. That is all for Nikki Hill's sweet releases. Nikki Hill, you sweet boy, we miss you. When we speak your name. Did I say Music Man earlier? Music Man, we speak your name. Music Woman, we speak your name. Do we speak your name? Mom Brain, we speak your name. Spoke everybody's name. Excuse me. I don't know why you can hear it. My throat is closing up. Not good if you're doing a solo show. That was a tight hour we did there. Let's talk about what we played. What did we play? Well, I'll ask myself. What did you play, RMC? Thanks for asking, RMC. I'll tell you. Played more Fortnite. And I actually have more to talk about this time because I said I played Ranked Reload. So again, quick recap. I was playing Ranked Reload to get the special limited time Halloween Jack-O-Lantern traversal emote, which I believe is only available to get until the end of this month, until the end of Fortnitemares. You needed to get 50 kills in Ranked Reload mode. I accidentally played build mode for my first game. Quickly switched out to 0 build after that. But so yeah, you got to get 50 kills, and it's my first time playing Ranked Reload, and usually they start you out with bots. So that's what happened here. Started out with bots and real players, but majority bots. And for those who don't know, Ranked Reload is you have two automatic reboots. So if you die, you automatically reboot. If you die again, you automatically reboot. If you die again, then you're screwed. No more reboots. But when the game comes down to the final minute 30, or that can't be it. When it comes down to its final minutes, reloads are turned off. So even if you didn't use any reboots at all, you die. You don't get it at the end. So a little bit different. And it's a smaller map than regular Fortnite. It's a more condensed map because it's less players. I want to say it's 40 players. So that's the gist of it. But the key difference is it's ranked. So when you throw in ranks to stuff, people go crazy and they want to climb through the ranks. I don't remember all the ranks. There is... Why don't I just look this up? Because I know the obvious one. Fortnite Ranked Reload ranks. Okay, I got the Google AI thing, and then we click a link because I want to make sure I give sources their clicks. All right, the ranks in Reload are bronze, silver, gold, platinum, diamond, and elite. But bronze, silver, gold, platinum, diamond all have 3 different tiers. So it's bronze 1, 2, 3, and then you graduate to silver 1, 2, 3, and so on and so on. So as you climb through the ranks, surprise, surprise, people get more challenging and people get more sweaty and games get way more difficult. So it started off great because it was majority bots, and every once in a while you'd see a really crazy good player, as the kids say, a cracked player. And in my first couple games, I want to say I had like 17 kills. So I was like, this won't be as bad as I thought because I could just mow down bots. Well, Fortnite had a different idea for me. Um, I'm going to say it took me between 3 and 4 hours because I kept doing good enough to climb through the ranks. I wasn't getting like slaughtered, but I wasn't winning the games. But more often than not, I would make it to the final 10 because I played like a little bitch and I'd go hide in bushes and on rooftops and I'd watch people and like go in an opportune time and get a kill, or at least try to get a kill. So I was consecutively getting in the top 10, usually getting in the top 6. So I wasn't helping myself because I was climbing through the ranks and it was giving me more players, and those players were ranked players who were also very sweaty. So my kills started to dwindle. Like I was getting like 4 or 5 or 3 kills. So it took me longer. So I should have been playing worse to benefit myself. I should have been, just going in and going balls to the wall, getting whatever kills I could get, and then making my rank stay the same or go lower. But nope, not what I did because I'm a stupid man. So holy crap. I don't play ranked. I know ranked. I know how good people are at games in general. But when it comes to competitive games, online competitive games, people really get sweaty. So, oh my God. You can tell by the way people are moving. The majority of the ranked players that I was playing against anyway were playing on PC just by the way they move. You can see how they spin and how they aim and how they move and what they're doing. And you're like, yeah, that's not somebody who's using a controller. It's somebody with a keyboard and mouse. And I'm not knocking them. That's fine. Just saying, they're a different breed of player. They're on a different level. And some of the things these people were pulling off, like I play Fortnite all the time. I've been playing Fortnite since it came out. I know the basics. I know how it works. Even with all that knowledge, I was seeing people do things where I'm like, I don't even understand how they're moving like that. I don't understand how they know that. I don't know how they know where they're going to land when they land somewhere. I don't know how they understand their orientation. Like, it's you see people and you're absolutely in awe of what they're doing, and you also recognize like I will never ever ever, no matter how much I play this game, no matter how much time I put into it, no matter how much I practice, I will never get anywhere near the level that they are, and I'm okay with that. It's just you watch it and you're like, man, some people just are born different. Some people just have innate gaming abilities. Like, there may be a game out there where I could be really good at it and be competitive to some degree. I'm not going to say I could be competitive on like a national scale, but competitive to some degree. What are those games? I don't know off the top of my head, but I'm sure there's something where I could make it happen. But yeah, in Fortnite, forget it. Like it's these are like gods going out there and playing, and you see them just mow through people like they're nothing and switch through weapons like they're just playing on a different level and they have a different mindset, and that's great. It's fun to watch. It's not fun to be the one on the receiving end of their kills, but it's fun to see them do what they're doing because you're just flabbergasted. So I put in my 3 to 4 hours. I got my 50 emotes. I got my last kill my 50 kills. I got my last kill with a sickle, or a scythe, which is not the weapon everybody was using, but I was having. There's Mom Brain. I know she came in here and meowed, and then she left, and now she's going to my office. She's got work to do. So it was just an experience. Depending on the emotes that pop up again, I may go in there and do it again. You give me a free emote, you give me the opportunity to get a free emote. I'm like, oh, maybe. You give me an opportunity to get a free traversal emote. I'm pretty convinced, or I've been pretty convinced I'm going to go in there and do it. So I may have to dabble in another ranked mode at some point in time. But as soon as I got my 50th in this, I was like, that's it for me. Goodbye, everybody. I will never be back. I will say, I won one of the games. I shocked myself that I won one of the games because the person I won against was clearly better than me. But I had the right moment. I had the right sneak attack. I almost died, but I didn't, and I got the win, and I'll forever cherish that moment. I'll say, like, I won a ranked reload mode. I was in gold 2 or gold 3. I don't remember which one. So I was just about I was either near the end or at the end of the gold tier. So I'm pretty proud of that. And I stopped at gold 3 because that's where I got my 50th kill. So sitting at gold 3. A couple more games, maybe I could get the platinum. But I like to have fun when I'm playing Fortnite. I like to dance. I like to talk stupidly with friends. I like to be silly, and that's where my Fortnite experience is. I don't like to fight competitively, like for ranks and that. It's just not me. I'm not knocking people that do that. Whiteland says can't compete with the 14 to 22-year-olds with no responsibilities. Forget it. The kids will forever, or the youngsters will forever be better than all of us. And that window of opportunity for me closed literally decades ago. And I played a lot of games when I was a kid, but I didn't play competitively. I played with friends in Mario Kart and whatever. But could I at some point have been anywhere near as good as these people are? I'm going to say no. Can't. I'm telling you something, Mom Brain. I almost broke an embargo. There's something behind this pillow. Do not move the pillow. I luckily read an email right before I went to move the thing from behind the pillow, and I almost screwed myself. So nice to see you, Mom. Mom Brain has been gone for 2.5 days.
In the Jewel of New Jersey.
She's back.
Atlantic City.
It's so nice to see you.
Do you want me to bring you?
I missed you. Piper missed you.
Let me bring you.
I would like to see the surprises you have.
Bring
yes,
you your presents.
It's a fun podcast segment. Yes, thank you.
Okay, it was an autism conference, so I have a lot.
So now you have autism.
Fun things. No, I don't take Tylenol, so don't.
Don't be a sweaty, be a go-getty, says Maddie B. I know a wise robot that once said that.
Why would you say that?
Because you're the one that coined it, as far as I know.
Don't be a sweaty. Be a go-getty.
That's right, my friend.
You're a sweaty.
I'm not a sweaty. You're a sweaty.
You're a sweaty.
I'm not a sweaty.
Hey,
Moving on.
Okay. And George, hi, how are you, George?
I'm pretty good. How are you, Mom Brain? Did you have a lime time while you're in the old Atlantic City?
At Lime Tick City?
I don't understand.
Oh. All right, well, we'll catch up on that later.
Doesn't anyone care what I think?
What do you think, Josh?
Is that what I sound like?
It is, and it's beautiful.
Boring.
Okay.
I'm here to grace you with my presence.
I'm so glad.
You're a sweaty.
Josh, we know that's not true.
Oh, that's something I was going to talk about in my topics, and I forgot. I even wrote it. Mom Brain, bless you. Mom Brain comes back sick from this conference every single year.
It's
so
because it's in a disgusting hotel.
This is what's going to happen. Mom Brain, I mean, if you're going to talk, you want to just grab a mic and whatever. Not that one. Here.
I have cat hair on my tongue.
Here you go.
Okay, number 1.
Mom Brain has brought me back presents from Atlantic City, including Stranger Things, Collisions Doritos, Stranger Pizza, and Cool Ranch.
Stranger Pizza and Cool Ranch.
I'm going to open.
Oh, should I wait? Is it okay that my wire's touching your mouse a little bit?
Sounds sexual. This smells like combos.
Oh, yeah. Like pizzeria pretzel combos.
Now, are there 2 different types?
I think so. Oh, maybe not.
Like, I want to know if the flavors are both the same on one chip, or if like one chip is Cool Ranch.
I'm gonna guess it's both flavors on one chip.
I like them. I'm giving them to you.
I have something in my other hand.
Oh, man.
That was the salty treat.
That's good.
Here's the sweet treat.
Oh. You want to tell the story while I'm chewing this?
Well, I don't really know the story behind why. I just know that you guys were
Nikki Hill
was looking for them and couldn't find them like anywhere.
Chocolate chip cookie bars from Tasty Cake.
Yeah. So there's that.
I thought you were going to tell the whole story. I was like,
I don't know any.
All right, vamp for a minute while I swallow this chip.
Okay. There's other things I brought for you, but they're all
Not appropriate for camera.
no, they are. They're not edible. So at this conference,
If it ain't edible, I don't care about it.
it's a really big conference put on by Autism New Jersey, and
Okay,
so
I'm
there's
done.
like all these different
You're a terrible vamper. I'm done.
well, there's all these different booths, and they all have stuff they're giving out. So
So the cookie bar thing is, Nikki Hill, I used to eat cookie bars all the time back in the day, Tasty Cake cookie bars specifically. My sister Nintendo used to eat them all the time with and she used to drink tomato juice when she or V8 when she ate them, which is disgusting. But anyway, we used to have them all the time. Nikki Hill recently had them and said they are completely different. They don't taste the same at all. And I wanted to try them and we couldn't find them anywhere. And we literally went to, I'm going to say 4 or 5 different gas stations and convenience stores, me, Nikki Hill, and Dew, to try and find them. And we could not find them. And they had massive Tasty Cake sections, but they didn't have any cookie bars. So Mom Brain got me a cookie bar.
okay, so here is toy number 1.
Are you going? Oh my God, what is this?
So you push down,
Yes.
but then squeeze it so they pop out.
Oh,
It's good, right? It's good.
It's a fidget bump cube. I don't know
Okay.
what this is. Oh, this is nice.
Also,
You guys probably have noticed when I'm on the podcast, I'm usually playing with Play-Doh. It's there's a whole mental aspect to it. It's a soothing thing for me, and it keeps me occupied, or some part of my brain occupied. So that's why I always have a pot of Play-Doh, and there's little Play-Doh balls literally all over the place, like one right
everywhere, all
here.
over the house. Here's another fidget that is unlike any I've ever seen.
Whoa, this is like one of those cereal bowls where like the cereal doesn't come out. What do I just spin it?
Yeah, like with your
Oh, I like that. Yeah, if you've seen one of those, like, what's the word I'm thinking of? Gyro, whatever. Cereal bowls where it's supposed to be like, you can hold this at any angle and your cereal and milk will never spill, or like a cup like that. That's what this thing is like. This is very satisfying. I like this.
Okay, there's 2 more.
I'm ready.
There is one moment, please.
Mm.
There's this one.
Tony says, ooh, the STEM toys at an autism conference must be peak. Oh, this is going to be, yes. What do you call this?
I don't know, but I was making it look like a wiener and poking my friends with it.
I don't even know what to say. I don't know how to describe it.
I'm sure
It's
there's
like a
like
patchwork of, you know, those like they look like connects, but they're spheres, and like you pull them and they get really big, or you squish them and they get really small. That's like what this thing is. I mean, if you're looking on
it's
a video,
way more
you can see.
satisfying to play with than I thought it would
But
be.
it's like a more of a 2D thing. You stretch it out and you squish it down into a circle or like a very tall oval, and it is very satisfying. Yes, and I won't do that movement too much on camera because it looks horrendous.
And the last item I brought for you.
Oh, believe in potential unlimited ABA therapy. Attain. Oh, this is like some sort of Play-Doh-ish.
I think
thing.
so. Yeah, man. They also had Play-Doh there. People were giving out Play-Doh, but
Actual Play-Doh?
yeah, I was not able to get a hold of any, and I figured,
What?
well, you know, you've probably got enough here.
I do have a lot of Play-Doh. I don't have. Oh my God! I want to get this open. I don't have
Do you want me to
nails.
oh.
I got it. Let me. Oh, what is this? This is like. Feel it. Like it's kind of like kinetic sand and putty.
Stick with me, kid, and you'll be farting through silk.
This is really nice. Ooh, this is nice.
Okay, well, I'd love to stick around, but I have to run.
Okay. Thanks for stopping by.
My pleasure. If you would take care of this.
Will you be staying here?
At
In
home?
the house? You're home now?
Yes. Yes, I am. Okay.
Thanks, Mom Brain. It was
I
nice
love
seeing
you
you.
all.
We love you all. I cleaned up the house for you.
It looks gorgeous.
Okay. Nice little segment there, Mom Brain. Always nice to see her. Back to what I played. As I said, I played Fortnite. I played Ball Pit. because I wrote about it on Patreon. Ball pit, as I've already described, is like alleyway or breakout or Arkanoid, which means those games have a paddle, a ball, and some bricks. And the ball bounces up top and breaks the bricks and comes back down, and you have to hit it with the paddle. Once you clear all the bricks, the level's over and you go to the next. Ball pit is certainly based on that, except instead of a paddle, you are a person. And instead of having to bounce the ball off of yourself or a paddle, you don't have to worry about that at all. The ball just gets sent out and does damage and then comes back eventually. But then that's that. You don't have to catch it or anything like that. If you do catch it, you get like a bonus for it, but you never have to worry about running out. Like you have an endless supply of the balls that you send flying out. I'm going to say ball a lot, and it's going to be unavoidable and it's going to be funny. So let me just get that out of the way. So it's still the bouncing of the ball to break things, but you're not breaking things, you're hitting enemies. When I go silent, I'm taking a drink. I tried to announce it, but sometimes I can feel a cough coming on. So you in this game, most breakout clones are a stationary board with a whole bunch of bricks, and you clear them all in and you go to the next. But ball pit is your character constantly walking forward through a level. So it's like a scrolling shooter. It's coming, the stage is coming down towards you. You're walking forward through it. But it's not finite, or it's not infinite. It's finite. And you can see a little progress bar on the right-hand side, and there's like a sub-boss and a sub-boss and then the main boss. And as you go through the stage, you fight off wave and wave and wave of enemies. And if the enemies get to the bottom, they will do damage to you. They could do damage to you as well because anytime because they throw out attacks, and if you touch them, you get hurt. But if they make it to the bottom of the screen and you haven't killed them yet, they will hit you definitely and take away health. So, a la Vampire Survivors, as you are killing enemies, little gems will fall out on the ground, and you move your character to pick them up. And once you fill up the meter to a certain point, you get to level up your ball abilities. And you can get different types of balls or different kinds of attributes for the balls or different abilities altogether. Like there's things for armor, so you get hurt less, or things for health. And then you can level those up further. Like you could have like an acid ball, and that can get leveled up 3 times. But then you can also get a fusion ability that lets you fuse different ball types together to make something new to do even more damage. So like an ice ball and an acid ball will form into ice acid ball that does different kinds of damage. So it's rinse and repeat as you try and make your way through the enemies, up through the sub bosses, then into the final boss of the stage and kill it. And it's lots of stuff going on and lots of enemies. And so, just like Vampire Survivors, where there's a lot of things going on, you're picking up a lot of stuff. You're constantly upgrading, and it's very satisfying. And again, just like Vampire Survivors, it is very, 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 very addictive. Now you may remember I kind of poo-pooed Vampire Survivors. I thought the game had every right to exist, but I thought it was kind of a mind-numbing, and I played it a good amount. And it was enjoyable, and I could see why people really like it, and I'm very happy it was a hit, and I think it deserves to be. It just wasn't really for me. I did have fun with it, but it wasn't really for me. Ball Pit is very much for me. Like Ball Pit, you're doing a lot of the same things, but there's something that I enjoy more about the mechanic of the balls bouncing around. If somebody remember the name of the ball bouncing game on Switch that we were really into, which was very similar, where the bricks had numbers on them and you had to send them up to break the bricks. I don't remember what that was called, but very similar to this game. There's just something about the mechanic of leveling up the balls bouncing around, the breaking of enemies. And something about it is much more satisfying to me. Plus, I feel like there's more strategy to this. I don't know why I feel like that, but I feel like I'm doing more here because I'm moving the character and I'm aiming where the balls go, rather than in Vampire Survivors, you're just moving around and the weapons are like doing things around you. I feel like there's more for me to do here, or I have to stay on my toes a little bit more. Hold Down, thank you. It's Stitch. That's it. Hold Down is a great game. Discord is the best. I can always count on you guys. So I just feel like I'm doing more here, which makes me more connected to the game and it makes it more enjoyable for me. And as I mentioned earlier, there's like the town building aspect where it's like you place down tiles that you earn. It's like a wheat tile or a town tile or a brick tile or whatever. Tiles that unlock new characters. And you lay them down on this on this space, and you can buy more plots of land to expand. And I really don't dislike that part. I don't know what to say. I don't think it's bad. I just don't get any enjoyment from it. I just don't like that mechanic in games. It's not for me. I don't have fun with it. But I can very easily, like, just in between rounds, go in there, drop my new tiles, and then harvest stuff. And it takes like 2 minutes, not even. And I just, click on the icons that are new. I add them to the board. Then I send out my little people to harvest, and that's it. And the people that go out and harvest, they do it in a ball bouncing way. So you aim them, you send them out, they bounce off the walls and collect things and come back, and that's it. And then you're done. So you can do that, or you can do as many runs as you want before you go back to the town building thing. So if you lose like a ball run, an Arkanoid run, you can start over and again and again and again and again and again. You can do it as many times as you want before you go back to the land part of the game, which I spend very little time with again. But as you're doing all this, your characters level up. They get better passive stats. So each run makes you better in some degree. And it's very addictive. This has been the month of addictive games. You have Hades 2, where it's like one more run, and you have Absalom, which is like one more run, and you have Ball Pit, which is like one more run. But between all three of those, I feel that addictive nature more in Ball Pit than I do any of the other games. And I know I just said this about Absalom, but this is another Game of the Year contender. This really is. Devolver Digital put out they put out a press release saying that the game sold 100,000 copies in its first day. So it's happening. People are excited about this one, and I think they should be. I saw somebody mention the demo. Where was that? Somebody mentioned a demo for... Oh, yes, Ice Dilbert. They say the demo gives me a little Plants vs. Zombies vibe. Also, that's coming out on Switch too soon, and Switch. Is there a demo on the Switch for Ball Pit, or is it just on PC? Because if you aren't sure if this game is for you, try the demo. Because it'll give you a good idea of whether you want to play this game or not, because I imagine many people would be into this, and many people are going to get addicted to it. I had a very hard time stopping because I was just really, really, really enjoying the game. Ice Dilber says the demo was on Steam. I didn't see any on the eShop. I thought that was the case. Yeah, I had a lot of trouble stopping because A, I was finding the game very satisfying. B, I was leveling to a degree that felt very satisfying. C, I was just enjoying the level, like the enemies and the mechanics that were coming up. It was just checking every box for me. It was really, really good. And runs don't take long. I think you can even... I have to dig deeper into this, but I think you can actually alter how long stages take. Like, you can make stages progress even quicker. So, like, it'll be like a normal run should be 15 minutes if you beat the boss. But you could do this fast run, and that's 12 minutes. I believe that's part of the game. I need to look into that more, but I've been keeping it at 15 minutes. So that's not a lot of time to sit there and, like, run through a stage. And again, you might lose when you're doing it, so a run will be quicker than that. Not a successful run, but a run nonetheless. So yeah, I played a lot, and I only stopped because I had to go to bed, and I really wanted to play last night, but I was responsible and I didn't, because I wanted to be able to play something else to talk about it here, because I felt it very important to do that. I downloaded Pokemon Legends ZA. And I know I talked about it on Patreon. I don't remember if I said it on the podcast. I think I did. Where I was like, I am interested in Legends ZA. I want this to be like my an earnest attempt at really getting back into the Pokemon franchise. Not that I like played other ones and I didn't like them, just like I never really had since like the original days. I haven't really had an earnest attempt at getting into Pokemon again. So I was like, ZA, this is it. I'm gonna do it. And last night I was like, ball pit, ball pit, ball pit. But the other voice in my head was like, no, do the right thing. Ball pit will always be there. Put your time into Legends ZA. You can talk about it on the podcast, and you've been wanting to start this journey, so make it happen. So that's what I did, and I will tell you about it as soon as I finish this sip of water. Okay, so Pokemon Legends ZA. I'm just going to call it ZA. So I want to say I put it's somewhere between 2 to 3 hours into it last night. Maybe 2.5. Somewhat that would be in between. So I will talk about exactly where I am because I don't really think it's spoilers. But if you haven't started yet, or I'm not going to talk about like big storyline bits or anything. Just talk about where I am to give you an idea. Oh crap! I got to the part where you go. There's the detective lady, and you go to her office, and she gives you 3 side missions. And I did one of the side missions, and the side mission I did was some guy. I don't remember the names of Pokemon. I'm gonna have to get better at this because I'm playing the game now. There's some that I know, obviously from the original 151, but there's other ones I don't know. I might see them and be like, "Oh, I've seen that Pokemon before," but I don't know the name of it. The side mission I did was with this guy who's like, I saw this really big, it looks like a brown bunny. I don't know. It's a brown bunny. And he's like, I saw this really big one and it had red eyes. And you go hunt that down to fight it. So that's the side mission I did. That's where I am. So I've played, I feel like the game is still teaching me stuff in hand holding, and there's still elements where I go to explore and like your little Pokemon phone pops out and it's like, no, you can't go that way. So I still have hand holding. I want it to be like opened up where I can just go wherever I want. It's definitely getting to that point, but it's reminding me of like an old, I guess it is old by today's standards, old Legend of Zelda game where like the opening hours are pretty hand holdy and you're like, I know what I'm doing here. Just let me do it. Which Nintendo has moved on from, certainly, but Pokemon Company is still there, at least with this game. It's a little hand-holdy. And I just want to do more exploration because I'm having fun with the exploration. But anyway, so that's where I'm at in the game. So I've learned the basics of battling, and as you probably know, this is an active battle system. It's more akin to what you would see in like a Xenoblade game. That's what I liken it to. Or than a traditional Pokemon game. You still have the moves like you usually do in a Pokemon game, but now you are moving your character around on the play field, and they can actually be hit by attacks, and you can dodge and run out of the way of them. But if you have a Pokemon out on the field, the Pokemon will be the focus of the other Pokemon's attacks. So you're throwing out moves in real time, and they have cooldown periods. And I like the battle system in Xenoblade. Especially the most recent one. And this so far is a more dumbed down version of that. And I don't mean that in a negative sense. I just mean there's not as many things going on. So I like it. I do enjoy it. I need a little bit more time with the moves because I don't know what all of them are. Because I haven't played Pokemon seriously in a very long time. So there's things I'll think are an attack, but they're not. So I get myself into a bad situation. I haven't lost a battle or anything yet because it's beginning of the game stuff. Nobody's extra difficult. But there's I forget. I'll look at something like tackle and I'm like, is that an actual hit? Or I see something like leer and I'm like, I know leer isn't going to be an actual attack, but what does it do? And do I want it? So I need to pay closer attention to that stuff and learn about that. But battles are fun and I'm sure they'll get more engaging. I've gotten into battles with someone. The whole point of the game. So it's Pokemon Legends ZA because you start out at Z rank and your goal is to work up to A rank. And you do that by fighting ranked opponents. I fought my first ranked opponent who was a Z. and I was a Z, and the winner becomes a Y. So I fought that guy, and he threw out 3 Pokemon eventually. I've only fought Pokemon like one-on-one. And I guess that's how it's gonna stay. I don't know. But I beat his Pokemon, and now I'm a Y. But that's the most Pokemon I fought at once so far. And then there's your wild battles as well. In this town or in this city, there are wild areas. So areas that are specifically sectioned off for wild Pokemon. So when you go into there, you know that there's going to be Pokemon running around, and they might be mean, and they might try and get you, but that's also where you catch Pokemon for the most part. So I've gone every wild area I've gone to, I have made a point to catch every Pokemon there. As in, like, every Pokemon I don't already have, not every version of the same Pokemon. So if I already have like a if I could only think of the name of a Pokemon, Pikachu. If there's 4 Pikachu running around, I only catch one of them. I'm not going to catch all of them because I don't need them. Despite what the game tells me to do, we got to catch them all. I'm only going to catch some. I'm going to catch one of each type that I see in a wild area because that's what's important to me. So I have caught every Pokemon I have encountered in the wild. No, that's a lie. I haven't. There's ones that I haven't caught because they've been too high of a level and they kick my butt, so I have to run away. There's I know it's an Alakazam or it's something related to an Alakazam. I couldn't catch that one because even when I tried to sneak up on it, it was alerted to me and it disappeared. And there was something I think maybe it was a Clefairy or a Clefable. I don't know, but they were way too strong for me, and I could not whittle them down enough to catch them, so I had to leave them. But outside of that, I've been catching everything. And I like the catching mechanics. You know, you go out and you could fight them to whittle them down, and then better your chances of catching them. And again, this is all in real time. Or you can sneak up on them to get the drop and just throw out a Pokeball, or you can look at they have little like arrow indicators, and the amount of the arrows and their color indicates like how easy they will be to catch based on your distance in a Pokeball and whatever. I like that stuff. I like sneaking around or exploring these wild areas and finding all the hidden stuff that's there and finding all the Pokemon to catch. And they're enjoyable. They're nice little chunks of the game that you can go in and out of that I like inspecting. I like inspecting and navigating through the city in general, just because there's stuff to get all over the place. There's a Pokeball over here, and there's a little shiny spot over here, and there's just things to pick up all over the place. So it's and there's things to break through, like rocks and crystals, and just a lot of little. Ooh, here's a little thing to do all over the place. So I really like doing that. And it sidetracks me quite often. So that's probably why I'm at where I'm at, because I keep getting sidetracked with picking up these little things that I see. And then I really like going up on rooftops. You can go on rooftops, and there's whole like rooftop sections to explore where it's like you run across the roofs and you fight a Pokemon up there, or you collect these things or break this thing, or jump off the side here and get to a little alleyway that you couldn't get to otherwise. There's something about like climbing up on the roof and jumping across the rooftops that I really like. It's just, I don't know. I kind of feel like you're very much meant to do it, and it is a part of the game. But hi, Blinded by Daylight. It's good to see you. Just me today, yes, because we had to do an early show. But I appreciate you being here. The rooftop stuff feels like, oh, I'm doing something I'm not supposed to be doing, although you're very much supposed to do it. But there's just something cool about walking above the city and seeing everybody else below you, and like seeing the big tower in the background. And I don't know, scratches an itch. It's just enjoyable to me. Whenever I see a ladder, I'm like, yeah, I want to get up there. I want to jump up on that roof. I want to see what's going on. So I'm really liking the exploration. The story is whatever. Like, I honestly don't care about it right now. I don't want to say it's bad, but it's a nothing. It's like you came to this town and you don't know anything about Pokemon, but you're a really good Pokemon trainer. So take this Pokemon and work for our group, and there's ranked matches and become the very best. And that's the story. I'm sure there's going to be other stuff that's going on. There's some mystery about some Pokemon. I don't know what it's called, but it's a little green blob, and it snuck onto my bag when I was on a train, and I don't know what I don't know what it is. I don't know what's going on. There's this guy at this hotel that I stay at that is like disconcertingly tall. And the way he's dressed and the way he looks makes me think he's very connected to a Pokemon in some way. I just don't know what Pokemon because I don't know enough of them. But something's weird about the guy. He's literally like 2 times taller than me. And he's supposed to be like a regular human, but he ain't. He a freak. So there's things going on there that I need to learn more about. There's something with this detective lady too. I don't know, but we'll see what happens as it goes on. I'm not like, can't wait to play that Pokemon game for the story. Maybe it'll end up surprising me. But that's not why I'm playing. I'm playing to catch and fight Pokemon. What I can tell you is it's very funny to go into these there's like battle areas that you go into where it's if you go into this area, you're going to battle. Like the people there are there to battle. And they're marked off with like red lights. So when you go in, it's like it's fight time. And you gain, I don't remember, some kind of points in there, and you have to get a certain amount of points to get a ticket to go to your like ranked match to hopefully gain a level. So you have to go do these battle zone things to get the points you need to rise through or to get the ticket to go to the ranked battle. Whatever. I'm making it sound more complicated than it is. Go to the red area, fight people until you got enough points, use the points to get the ranked match. That's it. And these ranked or these battle areas change every night, so you don't know like where exactly they're going to be, but they're marked by red spots on the map. So you go in and it's very funny because like the game, everybody in these areas, again, when you go in these areas, everybody there is there to fight. Like, you're going to fight. But people there, so far, everyone I've encountered only wants to fight. Like, they will not let you not fight. When you first get to the city, it's like, oh, we're going to have to travel through a ranked area or a battle area. This is where everybody fights. And the guy that you're with is like, hey, can we just scooch by? She's new here. Or I'm a girl in the game. I picked a girl. So the guy's like, she's new here and she's just trying to get to the hotel. And the person's like, no, we're fighting. And then a fight happens. And then you meet like 3 other people. And it's like, hey, we're just trying to get to the hotel. Can we pass by? And they're like, nope, we're fighting. Sorry. So like everybody is like insane about battling. Like, if you're in the battle area, that you are there to fight and you're not getting out without a fight, no matter what. It doesn't matter what your sob story is or what your circumstance is or how important it is for you to get by without a fight. It ain't happening. You're fighting. I was like, man, everybody in this town is a real asshole. And yes, they're in the battle areas, but come on. Like if somebody was like, I got to get home. My wife's in labor. They're going to be like, no, we got to battle first. Call me crazy, but I don't think that's right. But I guess I'm not cut out for the world of Pokemon, the cutthroat world of Pokemon. I am enjoying the game. It's not the greatest game I've ever played. It's not the most amazing game I've ever played. But there is something to the battling, and I'm having fun and collecting the Pokemon. So like all the Pokemon aspects I like. They're not incredible, but it is enjoyable, and I do get satisfaction from leveling up my Pokemon and evolving them. That's always been something that I liked about the Pokemon franchise. There are plenty of Pokemon for me to find out about. There's a city to explore. I just wish it would open up completely so I could go out and do what I wanted. There's little platforming challenges that I like. It's all stuff that I really like. Blinded by Daylight says, I used to love the random phrases that Pokemon trainers would whip out on you and then just throw down. I like Blue Pants, whips out a Charizard and sets it on to you. Yeah, that's what these people basically do. Like they have their little thing that they say and then they're like, let's fight. So that's still here. So it's a whole bunch of like little systems and mechanics that I really like. Nothing too deep so far. That might change. Again, I'm only 2.5 to 3 hours in. But so far, so good. Like I'm not like, I wouldn't be like, you got to play this game. It's crazy good. But it is a fun way to spend time. And it's something that I like. I find myself thinking about it today where I'm like, oh, I want to go back in just because I was having a good time. I really like the character designs in Pokemon. I've always liked the character designs. And I'm not talking about the Pokemon. I'm talking about the characters, like the human characters. I always really liked their style and like their sense of fashion and design, and I really like it in this game too. I don't know. I just like the colors and the design and the approach. It's pleasing to me. And obviously, there's a whole part of this game where you can change your outfit and wardrobe and all that. And I was walking around in the shop area last night to see what they had. And I was like, oh my God, there's actually stuff in here that I would really like to wear. Like, that really doesn't happen for me in a game. But because I guess I like the style already, I was looking at this stuff and I was like, there's things I want to buy. And then I looked at the price and I was like, too rich for my blood, but I'll be back. There were some sweaters and some earrings and like a pair of gloves where I was like, oh yeah, this stuff is badass. I want to wear this stuff. So I will be going back to buy some of that stuff. Usually a part of games I don't care about at all, but I see things here that I like. So that style meshed with the clothing options is doing it for me. I'm going to get into that. And then the last thing to talk about is the soundtrack, which may be my favorite part of the game. It's a very jazzy and can be frenetic soundtrack, and it's really enjoyable. Like I really like it, and the battle songs are a lot of fun, and there's callbacks to some Pokemon songs throughout history, but lots of brand new songs too. It's got a very like vibey, jazzy, atmospheric soundtrack, and it fits the city that you're in, and I find it really enjoyable. And I know Pokemon Company worked with a lot of first timers on this game, as far as first timers contributing to a Pokemon game, and I think it breathes some new life into it, and I really like it. So music is pretty stellar so far. I found myself thinking I would like to listen to this outside of the game, and I will be doing it. So that's my time at Pokemon Legends ZA. I'll have much more to share next week because I'll have a whole week's worth of playtime to discuss rather than just 3 hours. But I promised I would get back into the Pokemon franchise and really give it a go, and that's what I'm doing, and I stay true to my word. So hopefully by this time next week, I'm enjoying it even more. But so far, so good. So far, not so great. So far, so good. I mean, not great. Not so great. You know what I mean. I'm saying it's good, not great so far. I'd say very good. I consider great to be better than very good. And all of that just made everything much more confusing. But that's that. Moving on. You can send your questions to goninpod@gmail.com. I didn't know if Mom Brain heard me. Oh, she did hear me. goninpod@gmail.com. Here's this week's question. They can be about Nintendo video games in general or whatever the hell you want. PT sent in this week's question. What games have your favorite disc art? What an awesome question that I have no answer for. Obviously on Switch game cards, we get a little tiny bit of art, but we don't get the nice artwork you used to get on discs. But yeah, I used to really like that stuff, like disc art. I was really into, and I'm literally, Tony, I see your question about Legends ZA. Tony asked if it stutters or if it flows well. I'm playing it on Switch 2. It plays without a hitch. So I don't know how it is on the original Switch, but on Switch 2, literally no, silky smooth, no problems at all. Back to the disc art. I literally can't think of any off the top of my head, but I used to love like that moment of opening up. I specifically remember it during the PS1 era of opening up like the PS1 jewel case and looking at the art, because usually more often than not it was like, you know, you're just regular CD looking CD, but with some sort of like etched, maybe a couple colors design on a CD. PS1 game disc art. Let's see if that gets what I want. All disc art. Yeah, there's some of them that have like full on artwork, but the early days didn't. Or most of them didn't in the early days. Yeah, this one I'm thinking of, like one tone or two tone disc art stuff. I just loved that kind of stuff. That era I really liked in general. For some reason, I don't know why. Oh, look at this one. I'm just looking at Google Images. Carnage Heart EZ has a really cool looking disc. I love that. The disc. There you go. Roth has got it in the Discord. what's the name of that? Onechanbara franchise with some interesting hole placement on that disc art, and I'll leave it at that. I'm remembering specifically like Metal Gear and Tomba. Oh, here's Tomba right here. Yeah, Tomba has a really cool art. Man, Tomba's awesome. Let's see if I can very quickly and easily send this to the Discord. If it doesn't work, I give up because I can't. Oh, it works. There you go, Discord. I really like the Tomba disc art. A little splash of color, two-tone design with pink and the disc art, like coloring behind it. Really like that. I remember, I don't know why. Let me look it up. Elemental Gearbolt, which is a name I've always loved, although it's a bunch of nonsense. Elemental Gearbolt disc art. Let's see if it was cool art. For some reason, it sticks out in my mind, and I might. Yes, man, I like that disc art. Yeah, that's a cool one. That's a cool one. So wow, there you go. I did come up with a couple, but that is my era, which you don't really get anymore, or that's the era that I really liked. That like early day disc art stuff. It was on Sega CD as well. Oh no, made a little mistake there. It was on Sega CD as well. But as time went on, we got full color discs, and there's nothing wrong with that. Just I liked the more there's a word and it's escaping me. It's not modest. It's not simple. I like the more whatever. Somebody will think of it. You know what I'm saying? Just the more subdued approach to art. The more what is that word? It's gonna drive me nuts. Doing more with less. The more, God, it's gonna drive me nuts. I'll keep an eye on the Discord. But thank you for that question, PT. That was really cool. I now you're making me want to go down the rabbit hole of like wikis or sites that chronicle all that discard stuff. Remember, there were sites that did that for minimalist. That's the word. Thank you, Darmani, my savior. The more minimalist approach to discard. You're making me want to go down the rabbit hole of specialized websites or wikis that chronicle all that discard. I would love to see some of that. I'm sure there's plenty that I loved that I've completely forgotten about. What I've never forgotten about was putting the Castlevania Symphony of the Night disc into my CD player to hear that hidden track. And I found out about that organically. Why did I put that disc in a CD player? To see if there was music to listen to or some hidden track? Because I did that with every PS1 disc for a very long time. And 90% of the time, nothing was there. But sometimes you got something like with Castlevania Symphony of the Night. We also have a Patreon. Oh, and he just closed the link to the Patreon because he's so stupid. We also have a Patreon. Now, I found it for $1. Do you think I kept it? Nope. Mom Brain, where's for $1?
For $1.
Mom Brain, did you know that you can join the GoNintendo Patreon?
For $1.
For $1. Grantimus did, and they asked this. Oh, Mom Brain, can you come in here for this one? It's real quick. It's a question you will be... It's a question you're an expert in answering, as am I, but I feel it'll be better with two people. Grantimus wrote in and they asked, what's Old Jersey? So we know what New Jersey is. Well, what's Old Jersey?
What does that even mean?
What is that? Yeah, I feel like Old Jersey.
New Jersey has just always been New Jersey, and that's that. There's no, that's it. There's one New Jersey. Period.
I feel like Old Jersey is like
England.
Some of the. Well, yes, I know that, but I feel like Old Jersey is some of the like old pizza joints. You know the one I'm talking about, where it's like orange.
Yeah.
Orange benches and wood paneling.
Is that the question?
Here's the question right here. What's Old Jersey? It's whatever you want.
All right. Old Jersey is...
What's Old Jersey to you?
Old Jersey to me is pictures of specifically moms and children on the beach in Seaside Heights circa 1989. And that's all I have to say.
Thank you, Mom Brain. There you go. Old Jersey is old beach stuff, and I say old pizza places. Hold on 1 minute. Drop part of my cookie bar on the floor. She was in here once right now. She's going, oh, you got hissed at? Hissed and fist.
it's me.
Stop annoying her. I'm at the end of the show. Just let me finish it.
You didn't clean out any of her eye doo-doos while I was gone.
I didn't. She told me she wanted them. Let them build up.
That's so mean. Imagine you got eye doo-doos and you had no way to pick them out. Someone has to clean her.
She
eye
told me that's what
doo-doos.
she wanted.
No, she
All right, can
didn't.
you let me finish the show and then we'll have this conversation? See, she listened. She ran out. Yeah, if you haven't been to New Jersey and you haven't had pizza in New Jersey, I feel very sad for you. I wish I wish I could make that happen for everybody. But there's something about select pizza. So many pizza joints in Jersey have been around forever because they make really good pizza. But there's like a select few throughout Jersey that are very, very old and never updated the inside because they don't have to. That's people, A, don't care, B, like it like that. So literally, everybody in Jersey has been to like an old pizza joint with old, hard as a rock, plastic orange bench seats, and like an old Formica table that looks like it hasn't been cleaned in forever, but it is clean. It's got a patina and like dark brown wood paneling, and huge old pizza ovens and the big pallets or whatever you call them, and like staff that works there that hardly says a word and seems like they're annoyed that you've been there, and you're annoyed every time, or they're annoyed every time you come in, but you love it. And to me, that is old Jersey. That's what old Jersey is all about. And that is what the podcast was all about today. 2 hours of just me. Were there moments of silence? Yes. Were there moments where I got distracted? Sure. Was it a decent show overall? That's for the fan to decide. Next week should be a regular show. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. I have a little something in the after show if you plan on sticking around. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. I will see you next week with others. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye. After show, people. Something very quick, and then I'm gonna go. I wrote myself a note and I skipped right over it. Some of you may remember the mobile phone sensation HQ. HQ was an app on mobile devices where you played a live trivia game show against thousands of other people. I believe it got into the millions of other people at the same time. You went through a round of, I say, 10 trivia questions and had a live host that would read out the questions. And then you could potentially win money. And if you did win money, it was usually like a penny, a fraction of a penny or something like that. It depends on how many people won. But it was, it became popular, then very popular, then insanely popular. And then there was the downfall because of technical issues and some shenanigans behind the scene by the people that were involved with the game. There's a documentary about it on Netflix, I want to say. There's definitely a documentary about it. It's on a streaming service. I think it's on Netflix. Maybe it's on Hulu. But go check it out. But I was a big HQ fan. I played it right up till the end. I played all the spin-offs. I love game shows. I love the idea of playing a game show. I love the idea of a live host. There were multiple hosts, but Scott Rogowski was the main host on HQ. Well, like I said, HQ fell apart. The situation soured. Scott got screwed over. He was never in the bad parts of the HQ stuff. He wasn't involved with that. But HQ died 7 years ago. And Scott Rogowski and a very small group of people have been working very hard and very long to bring back that idea of a live game show you play on your mobile device. And it just launched in beta this week. It's called Savvy, right? Let me double check. Savvy. Yeah. So if you search Savvy on the App Store, SAVVY, it'll come up. It's still in beta. And you have to be approved to get in, but you could get the app and fill out your information, and then hopefully they approve you. It's not trivia like it used to be for legal reasons, but it is a combination of Wordle and connections. So you play a little bit of a Wordle-like game where you got to guess a word with letters, but it could be a 5-letter word or a 6-letter word or a 4-letter word. And then the words in the first 3 rounds all have a connection. And in the 4th round, you guess the connecting word. And then you are playing against the host, which is Scott Rogowski, to earn points and stuff, but also get points overall against your other fellow players. And whoever comes out on top in the end wins money. And instead of doing it, everybody won this much, and you split it. It is first, second, and third, and each of those winners get money. So again, it's in beta. The money amounts are very small right now, but they were doing $150. So first gets the majority of that money, second gets a sizable chunk, and third gets whatever's left over. Still better than you would do on HQ. It's just less people are winning. Far less people are winning. But Scott has been working with his team to make this happen. I got in on the beta. I played last night, the very first game. It was so much fun to have that back. It was so nice to see that kind of thing return. I'm so happy that Scott is bouncing back from that stuff. And he's like, him and his small team are the ones making this happen on a very shoestring budget. And they're very upfront about that. But the game went off. The game had like 600 people in it, shy of 700 people, and it went off without any technical issues at all. Now, obviously, 600 people and a million is much different, but so far, so great. It ran perfectly. It was fun. It was funny. I really, really liked it. So if you missed that HQ era and this is something you'd like to try, or you're into game shows, or maybe you want a chance of winning some money, go on your mobile devices store and look up Savvy. You can also follow them on TikTok or Twitter or whatever for updates, but search it out. It was a lot of fun, and I look forward to playing it next week. It's only 1 episode a week so far because they're still in beta, but it was fun. And that's my story. Nintendo, I see you typing. We'll end it with whatever you say. But for those of you who joined live today, thank you so much. I appreciate the support. Hopefully the show was enjoyable. Best part of the show is it's over and you can enjoy the rest of your Friday. You got the whole weekend ahead of you to play Pokemon or play Ball Pit or go see a movie. Maybe you're watching SmackDown right now, whatever you want. I hope you have a great weekend. Here we go. And we're ending it, as I said, on Nintendo. Nintendo says, going to a Halloween party tonight as the Tribal Tattoo GBASP Mario render. This is such a good idea. Holy crap. Go to the Discord if you want to see Nintendo in his costume and the reference advertisement. My God, that's fantastic. God, is that good. Bravo, my friend. What a man. And the fact that you're going to have to explain it to some people, that's so great. I love it. Blinded by Daylight, I see you're playing Arc Raiders beta. I saw a lot of people talking about that right before I came on today, right before I started a podcast. So it seems like people are enjoying that as well. All right, that's it. I unfortunately have more work to do. But podcast work is over. So thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Play some games, hang out with friends and family. Rest, relax. You deserve it. And we will see you next week. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye.